Ohayou gozaimasu.
Guten Morgen.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Breakfast Podcast. I'm Shota,
I'm Tim.
and joining us today is avid cyclist, garden enthusiast, vegetable lover, compost specialist, and aspiring geochemist, as well as my loving partner, Shelby Hoglund.
Wow.
Hello.
That was a killer introduction, dude.
I know, it's a lot.
Yeah, I like that
And
it was slow enough that people are going to keep up with all of the titles.
And I actually messed up on some of those, but it'll work. It'll get
That's
the
okay.
job done.
Yeah.
I said, don't say cyclist. I'm a bicycle rider. But that's okay.
Yeah. Did I say cyclist?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
It makes me sound professional, so that's okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's a hobbyist.
Yeah.
Bicycle rider. You can be on a tricycle and still be a bicycle rider, but you're not a cyclist. You're a cyclist. You also wear spandex.
You're a tricycle.
I'm a tricyclist.
Tricyclist.
No.
He got
I got a
trike.
tricycle recently.
What?
Yeah. I
With
didn't
a
tell you?
sidecar for me?
Well, no, it's got a basket in the back for the pups.
Oh, I thought it was I thought it was your dirt bike with a sidecar.
No, that
I've
would
been
be
wanting
really
one of
cool.
those, though.
I've always wanted one of those as
I
well.
want you to get one of these.
All right.
Let's build one.
Well,
Okay.
today we're having mimosas. It's a brunch podcast here.
Do
And
you want to go for Tim?
oh yeah, there we go. Wow. Oh,
This is mostly champagne, I think.
you really?
It's
Yours
very-
does seem a little lighter in color than ours. Well,
It does look a little
happens.
see-through. That's
We're
okay.
also kicking off this breakfast podcast. I haven't even had breakfast yet. This is going to hit
All
me
right.
very hard.
Well, then I'll start with my breakfast today. Today I had fantastic breakfast. 3 courses. This morning we went mountain biking.
Mhm.
When we get back, I had a peach. Marco made his waffles. We found our waffle iron a couple weeks back, so we had homemade waffles. Marco's recipe is amazing. It's like three weekends in a row. Marco and I have gone mountain biking, and now we're having waffles. And then after that, our ducks started laying eggs. So I had duck eggs on top of a quesadilla with some chopped green onions and green chili salsa. And that was my beautiful breakfast. And then after that, I hadn't had any caffeine yet. So we went to run some errands and we went to Dutch Bros, to a Tempe original, and
Wow.
got some coffee.
A Tempe original in Tucson?
Yeah. in
Okay,
Tucson.
I didn't know they had locations.
They expanded.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them now.
What the heck does a duck egg taste like? I've never had
It's like a chicken egg,
Mhm.
but it's butterier. It has a higher protein and fat content, according to Marco. So it's really delicious.
Probably
It's-
better for cooking, I'm guessing.
Well, I don't know. I just eat them sunny side up or scrambled. And
Oh.
they're amazing.
One time we had one big duck egg and we combined it with like 4 regular chicken eggs.
Mhm.
And it was oilier, so like cooking it was easier because the whole thing moved around.
Hmm.
So one duck egg was diluted a little bit and it still was noticeable.
Yeah,
Wow.
and you could still get a little more buttery flavor out of the scramble.
Mm.
Well, Shelby, what'd you have for breakfast this morning?
Okay, this is kind of a long story that I can make short.
Okay.
So I went out of town and I had bread that went stale, which was good, not moldy, stale. It had chocolate chips and cranberry in it. So last night I made it into French toast. And then I ate it last night and I got a stomach ache. And I thought it was the Thai food we ate. But I ate it for breakfast this morning and I got another stomach ache. So I think it's gone now, though I finished it. But I think it was the bread. And I think it was that the chocolate chips went bad. So that was my breakfast. And then I went for a bike ride and I felt like shit. Or I felt like poop, sorry.
Well, it's okay. This is it.
But while I was
Filter
eating it,
podcast.
while I was eating it,
Mhm.
it was so delicious.
So
I mixed the eggs with soy milk and cinnamon, and then
Mm.
I let the bread sit overnight in the mixture.
This
so
can-
overnight French toast, and that's a
Yeah.
vegan recipe with soy milk
Oh, well, it's also got homegrown chicken eggs.
that are vegan.
So it's somewhat animal friendly because our ducks and chickens they've got a life they're living. It's nice. They're totally free range.
yeah,
They've got names.
I would love to try one of your duck eggs.
yeah.
And we could do a video.
Break the veganism.
Well, I mean, we've done that this summer already, but I've never had a duck egg.
Yeah,
Maybe my duck
that's a
egg
good
cherry.
thing to try.
Pop that.
Yeah.
I've always had this theory about Shelby that she like secretly gets sick eating bad food. Like, so many times,
This is no secret
that you're like, it's probably fine. I don't remember when I bought that. Like, I can't count how many times you've said this to me where you're like, I think it was a few days ago or a week ago that I bought this. And I'm like, well, I've never seen her get sick eating food. So like, she's probably fine. And this is, I think, the first time I've heard a story you getting sick eating like something that went bad. Because I don't know, you guys have like like you guys live with 5 people, or 4 people, 5 people sometimes. So it's like
5 total right now.
5
the
total.
Household is 5 strong.
Okay.
So
wow.
3 other people, including ourselves.
Yes.
Which makes it hard, I'm sure, to keep track of food, remember whose is whose and when you bought things and stuff. So
it does.
It's not like I'm saying it's, you're irresponsible. I'm just saying like it's an understandable mistake, but it's hilarious because it always worries me.
And that's the thing is we don't like food to go to waste.
Right.
So Shelby is always trying to eat.
That being said, someone with chickens and ducks should never have to worry about eating questionable bread. Exactly. Yet this is still happening.
In my mind, if the bread goes stale, it's not bad because it's either stale or moldy. And so if it goes stale, then you make stuffing or French toast out of it, and it's actually really nice. But then it occurred to me that the chocolate chips might have gone stale in it.
You're sure there was no mold on it, though?
Well, I looked at the pieces.
So visibly there was no mold. Could have been that clear mold.
If there was mold, because I did think, like, I don't think it's moldy because I don't see it. But yeah, it could be, like, very microscopic. I cooked it. And so don't you think that cooking it in an egg batter would make the mold... I don't know.
Well, I'm not sure
harmful?
if you'd reach the temperature, and if it's overnight in egg batter, then it might kind of
grow.
Yeah.
It's like agar.
Well, so most when people get food poisoning, or they also call this like the 24-hour flu, you're not actually getting sick usually from the bacteria or whatever the mold that's growing in it. Because if you cook something, you're killing all of it out. But the neurotoxins and other toxins that it produces, that bacteria or that mold, don't get killed.
Okay.
So you can kill the bacteria, but not the toxins that it's produced in.
Oh.
Have you ever heard the theory of like the Salem witch trials when they were killing people for they're like accusing people of being witches all the time? There's a theory that because they were eating their bread in the wintertime stored in cellars, they were actually all tripping on LSD all the time and didn't know it.
Really?
I just told you about a podcast related to this.
Because the bread would grow mold, they'd eat it, maybe not get sick, but it would actually, the molds produced LSD. So they were eating LSD most likely in all of this bread that they would store in moist.
Microdosing.
They're all microdosing LSD all the time, which makes all of a sudden, in context, could make the idea of the Salem witch trials and these people just accusing people of being witches and putting people to death all the time. That could make a bit more sense if you think about an entire city microdosing on LSD all the time, or macrodosing depending on which bread they ate.
But how much?
How much?
Yeah. So yeah, it's a interesting.
But
theory.
then wouldn't it kind of happen all around the world? Because it couldn't have just been that one city.
I can't remember the specifics of that place, the way that they were recorded eating it, like whether they ate the bread longer.
Maybe
than most populations did.
Maybe it has to be a
moist.
specific area, so there's like a fungal spore or something in that
Yeah.
area.
Yeah, because not all fungi produce LSD. So
yeah, that could be cool.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else for breakfast this morning?
I tried a little bit of the Thai food from last night again because it was there.
That's still good though.
A real scientist trying everything to figure out which variable is causing her stomach pains.
But it doesn't work if I eat everything that I already ate.
Yeah.
And then I was also having some coffee.
Okay, so you're a caffeine drinker.
Yes, we had a roommate move in that mixes coffee with like orange peel or something so that the coffee is orange flavored. And it tastes better with soy milk in it, but I'm coming around to it. I think I like it.
That's
orange flavored coffee.
Twist. I've not ever heard or seen that before.
I've not either.
Like I've heard coffee having hints, like they're like, this coffee has been roasted to have a hint of kind of citrus or something. But not someone actually putting it in.
That's like coffee. A tea almost, pretty much.
It's like a blend.
It's like
a
coffee
it's
tea.
like a
that
blend.
Actually sounds really good.
Yeah.
I never tried that.
They commonly do cinnamon because we had a roommate that did cinnamon coffee and it actually smelled kind of bad. But then also I tried hazelnut in college when I was in the dorms. And the people in the dorm next to me said, "We can smell your wheat brownies. They're like really strong." And I thought, I don't have wheat brownies in my dorm. Sorry.
I don't think wheat
It was
brownies
the
are
coffee.
supposed to smell.
It was like mocha hazelnut coffee. I didn't like it that much though, so I think I prefer plain coffee. Black coffee too.
I recently bought some French vanilla, and it was really good the first few days, but after it lost that initial freshness.
So
just
it's
tastes
French
kinda
vanilla
weird.
coffee,
Yeah,
not creamer.
right.
So it's in the grounds?
Yes. Yeah. So I don't know if
Wow.
it's like a mixture of coffee beans and vanilla beans or what they do.
They roast it with like a
Cool.
vanilla extract or something.
Maybe, I'm not sure, but it really smells great. When I first opened the bag, it was like, wow. It was, and then the first few cups of coffee were like delicious. It tasted like a perfect mixture of coffee and like vanilla creamer.
Yeah.
And then after like a week, it was just sort of like, I'd rather just have regular coffee because it made it weird, you know?
That's how I felt about the hazelnut. Day after day of it, I got sick of it.
Yeah.
So what'd you have for breakfast today, Tim?
So I woke up around 11:30, saw a show to text me that we're doing a podcast today.
I told you about this like the other night too.
Well, when I wake up,
Thursday.
it's like a dream state for the first hour that I wake up. I don't really wake up. My roommate always jokes that I wake up like a Windows XP computer, or it's just like it's very like it takes a long time for me to boot. And in that process, like I'm loading, so I'm really like in this like, oh my god, show to text me. Did he say this before? I don't know. I got to get ready. And then I realized like I'm not really hungry yet because I'm not done booting up, but I also like should eat breakfast before we do a breakfast podcast. And I was like, well, now I don't have enough time. I'm just going to get ready. And then you guys showed up with champagne and orange juice. So
This is your breakfast.
I just gobbled down some almonds to get something in my stomach before I start drinking. Because I'm now day drinking all of a sudden without any food in me. So
this
is gonna
isn't
be
day
dangerous.
drinking because it's
not
brunch.
Yeah, it's brunch
It's still
drinking.
day drinking, isn't it?
No, day drinking is where you have brunch and then you continue drinking after that into the afternoon.
So this could be day drinking. We just don't know yet.
We just
Depends
don't
whether
know
or not we
yet. At
stop
this
right now.
moment, it's just a brunch beverage, little brunch happy hour, and an appetizer, if you will.
So
To me, day drinking is where you actually get pretty drunk. And you're usually outside.
Yeah.
So
And
if
there's
you
more
go-
people than
so
just three.
Say it's a Friday. It's an easy day
Mhm.
at work. You know, you're probably going to get off at like 4:30, something like that.
Mhm.
And you go out for lunch and you decide to have a beer with lunch. Is that day drinking, or is that
No.
just a lunch
with
beer?
a
It's a
meal.
lunch beer.
Okay,
Around the world, that's commonplace. You just have a lunch beer, and it's not drinking.
is it?
It's a beverage with your lunch. It's like having Coca-Cola, except it's a beer.
Except you can get fucked up drinking it.
Yeah, but you have one pint, right?
Yeah.
Like I think Marco was saying, and my dad have said that that's commonplace in Europe, especially like Ireland, Scotland, Spain, where at lunch you'll have a beer and it'll be like a shorter glass and a lighter beer with your lunch. Then you'll go back to the office, and on most days you only have one or two and go back to work. Obviously on a Friday, if you go out, you might have more than just one or two.
More than one or two. See, that's the thing though. For me, it wouldn't always take that much for me to all of a sudden hit that threshold of day drinking.
Yeah, but I mean, where they do this normally and it's culturally accepted,
They've
people are
got
going out
tolerance.
and doing it every day.
So
So I'm sure they can handle one pint with lunch on a daily basis and still be fairly functional. Then again, we could kind of look into those countries' economies and maybe see some telltale signs that day drinking is not doing them any good.
So for me, because I'm not actually eating a meal at this, and I haven't even eaten yet today. This kind of is day drinking for me.
In a sense,
Because it's not really brunch. Because
Well, we'll see if the end of our podcast recording, you're schlossed, then it's officially day drinking. But at the moment, it's simply a brunch happy hour deal.
I'm getting a little flush already.
Can you feel it in your face?
You know how I get like the apple sweats, I call them?
Yeah, right underneath your eyes.
Yeah, we should go into that later. But orange juice does the same thing. So like I'm just feeling like I get almost sweaty like right here.
Right here, meaning it's an audio recording, Tim. You got to let people know.
Sorry.
what
there's
you're
video.
pointing at.
I'm pointing like right under the eye, like at the eye bags, you know, like right above the cheekbone.
Yeah.
It just gets like, it perspires. Like it's not going to be dripping like it's a hot day, but it just, if you touched
I
it,
can
it's
kind of
like-
see it.
If you touched it, you could see like it's like, I'm glistening. I glisten underneath the eyes.
All
I
right.
do that when I eat spicy food. If I have too much hot sauce,
Yeah.
it's towards the end of the meal that it starts happening.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
get these sweats.
It's a lot like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that happens to me if I eat like orange juice, oranges, apples, anything like anything like
It's
that.
a real struggle for a vegan.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, and by the way, speaking about vegan stuff, I got an idea. We're gonna make some stickers to promote the podcast, and the first sticker that I'm gonna get made up is gonna say "Born Again Vegan for Love," because that's you, Born Again Vegan for Love.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make that sticker for you, and Tim, I wanted to give you the opportunity to make a sticker for me, and then we'll see whose sticker sells well.
I'm into that. Okay.
Yeah.
I also have some other ideas promotionally.
Yeah.
For giveaways.
Okay.
Yeah. So details to come.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah. We just got our Instagram and Facebook kind of booted up and added some more things to that. So be sure to check that out. But we'll get into the nitty gritty of today's conversation, which is going to be oatmeal. I despise oatmeal. But
I love oatmeal.
I live on oatmeal on normal days.
Yeah, and I just don't like it. I'll eat it. Like when I'll eat oatmeal is backpacking, camping.
But he won't.
When it's
He won't eat it.
If I can avoid it, I will. But if that's what's for food and that's easy to carry, then that's the situations in which I'll eat oatmeal. But I'll never eat oatmeal at home.
I can remember when I lived with you, I'd make oatmeal and be like, "You want some oatmeal?" And you'd just be like, you look at me like I was something wrong with me.
Yeah.
Like I was eating grits or something like that.
Grits are good. I love grits.
What?
Grits are
is
delicious.
like baby food.
I was in
someone from the South. Grits are disgusting.
No, I went to Charleston earlier this year. I had shrimp and grits because I heard about it, right? And I was like, well, actually, I heard about it on the airplane there. And they're like, you got to try it. And I was like, all right, I'm going to try it.
That's the best advice. Airplane.
Delicious. Delicious. Shrimp and grits.
Was it
so
in
good.
the grits?
Yeah, so you had basically grits, cheese, all the goodies. And then there were like grilled shrimp kind of around the edge of it. And you kind of can pick and take a spoonful. And it was amazing. So that is the closest thing that I love that's like oatmeal.
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm
It's
laughing.
all good. It's all right.
You like savory grits. I had grits and they were sweet, and I compared it with baby food. And I thought, this is nasty. I would stick to oatmeal. I put bananas and cinnamons in the grits that I ate once, and I've never eaten them
Have you
again.
ever had savory grits?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, I've never had sweet. I've just had this one type of grits.
I don't know about seafood, though.
In Charleston, and it was.
Have you ever
it
had
was amazing.
savory oatmeal? Maybe you're just
No.
a savory guy. Savory green guy.
I've had savory oatmeal,
I don't-
and
I
I
don't-
love it.
Can you tell me a little bit more about savory oatmeal?
Yes. I was with Michaela backpacking, and
Alright.
we had an avocado,
Mhm.
which is luxurious when you're backpacking.
Yeah,
And we mixed it into oatmeal and put salt and pepper. That was it.
that was it.
That was savory, though.
Okay. I mean, I would be willing to try that. That does sound somewhat appetizing, aside from the fact that I'm allergic to avocado. But I can see where you got a little cheese, maybe some sausage bits, maybe some mushrooms. That could be a pretty good little
That is
breakfast.
so funny. Yeah.
But
That's a thing. So when I was in the fencing team in college, my coach before every like tournament or whatever we did, he was really into cooking. So he would make this, he'd try to save money instead of like taking us out to eat. He'd just make this huge like smorgasbord of food. And his favorite thing to make would be this huge crock pot of what he called cowboy oatmeal, I think is what he called it.
Mhm.
And
Sounds like you would like it.
Yeah. Basically, it's just this like huge crock pot. He would just do overnight steel cut oats, but he would throw in there like sausages and bacon and like different spices to make it really like savory.
Mhm.
At the time, I wasn't vegan, but I would just eat the shit out of this stuff because at the time I was also training for like races and stuff, whereas everyone else was just like, they just
it's
do,
fencing.
Like, they just fence. So there's no like there's no endurance in fencing. So I was the only one that was an endurance athlete in the fencing. So I would just be like, dun, 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 and he would be like, look at everybody. Why can't you be more like and eat the savory oatmeal stuff or the cowboy oatmeal? And they'd be like, because I don't want to like gain weight eating carbs. And I would just be like, shh. And he's like, this is why Tim has so much endurance throughout the day, and everyone else is getting tired because you're eating cinnamon buns and fucking donuts in the morning before a competition. Because like you don't need to be, you're not in tune with your body when you're like just a fencer usually, because like I met so many fencers that just have no idea about anything with hydration or anything, because it's just you're sweating a lot, but you take so many breaks throughout the day that it's just, it's like a 7-hour competition that you just have multiple breaks throughout the day.
Right.
Whereas for me, I was like, coming into like more body consciousness of, how what I ate made me feel, that I was like really in tune with it. Whereas a lot of other people just didn't care. And then the coach would always be like, you gotta be more like Tim. But I mean, it was funny to watch these people just eat terrible things. So anyway, I think you'd love it. It's something I haven't had in a long time,
Yeah.
but I found my crock pot recently. I've been like progressing into moving into a new bedroom, and I have a little mini crock pot, and maybe we should do that.
Well, maybe we'll try that on another.
Like you could put tofu or something like that, or the
I love tofu,
rizo.
but come on,
Soy
tofu,
rizo.
soy rizos accept tofu. I love tofu.
I know,
but let's just not go throwing it in everything. All right,
What if you cracked eggs into it?
eggs would be good. Soy
Yeah.
rizo would be good.
Scrambled eggs into that, yeah.
All right.
And steel cut oats are much different than
Yeah.
if you marinate that like an overnight cook rather than what most people just instant oatmeal.
Yeah.
You get an overnight slow roast of your oatmeal with other stuff in there. It really embodies a flavor that you've probably never experienced with oatmeal before.
That would probably be amazing. That might be able to bring me over to the oatmeal side.
Maybe I'll reach out to my coach and ask him how his
What his
recipe
recipe is?
is.
Oh, I bet he'd love to hear from you. Well, while we're talking about oatmeal and different kinds of oatmeal, Shelby, what is your all-time favorite? Like, if you're gonna make oatmeal to be the best oatmeal ever, what do you do?
First, I don't eat just plain oats because that's kind of boring. I really like putting salt in them because I do bike and run, and so I think that. And I'm in Arizona, so I don't worry about my salt consumption. So I put a lot of salt in it. My ideal oats have banana, and the banana itself has brown spots on it, which everyone else is repelled by, but I like that.
I can't do that.
Like,
That's the way to go.
Like 3 days before you have to make banana bread with it. That's my ideal banana. That's chopped up and cinnamon. And then if I have granola around, I like just a sprinkle of granola for crunchiness.
That I can get behind. A little crunchiness. That's good.
The way I started eating oatmeal was my freshman year. I was at a bike race and there was nothing to eat in the morning. I had like bread and peanut butter, but the team was in a kitchen of the host house we were staying at, and somebody made a big thing of oatmeal for everybody. And I thought, oh, I remember having oatmeal and it was nasty. And someone said, oh, you got to put granola in it. It'll make it 10 times better. And that's how I got on the oatmeal wagon. Yeah.
So granola changed oatmeal for you.
Yes. And as a freshman, that became my breakfast and lunch. I would have oatmeal in the morning and oatmeal for lunch.
Twice a day?
Yeah.
I suppose it's cost effective.
It was really cheap and I loved it.
Yeah, it's a staple. I've been getting into is evening time oatmeal.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Before
We
bed.
had a roommate that did that.
Not like right before bed, but like if I'm doing a late night or something like that and I'm working or doing something I feel like I need some energy. Because lately I've been like the beginning of my day is very slow, and then I like progressively do more and more things as the day goes on. Like I'll be in the garage working or woodworking or something like that. I need some energy. So I'll do oatmeal. It's weird, but like 10, 11 o'clock at night, I'll just get some oatmeal going. Yeah.
It's good for sustained energy.
Yeah. It's weird if you fall asleep after eating a bunch of oatmeal because I dream like it's like crazy.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. Because I don't know, whenever I eat too many like carbs or sugar before I go to bed, it's just like, it's like my brain just is like, even though my body's like asleep. So
No, I totally know what you mean. And I wake up right when I'm on the cusp of sleep. I'm like, Shoda, I had too much sugar.
Yeah, that happens with ice cream all the time.
Really?
And she's like, remind me at night when that happens. She's like, remind me not to eat ice cream after 7 o'clock. Next day, it's like 7:30. She's like, I'm gonna have some ice cream. I'm like, it's after 7 o'clock, just a little bit. And then she goes and it's like 3 scoops, and I'm like, that's not a little bit. And there are a couple times I tried to take it away from her, and
I don't believe you.
No, and
to
I
be
did.
honest.
I was like, okay, let me eat this one and then you can have the rest. Because you're right.
You're what I like to call a permission eater.
No, he's not with me.
Particularly
It's
in
so
dessert.
great.
Really? Well, because he is with me. Where he'll, like, if he wants something, instead of just, like, doing it himself, especially if he knows it's, like, naughty or not, like, that good, he'll go, do you want a beer? Or, like, do you want some ice cream? Or, like, do you want to go to Yoshimatsu and get some mochi or something like that? And you know that if you ask me and I agree, it gives you permission. Like, you're always seeking permission with food or beverages with me, particularly beverages. But like, I don't know, I can't remember how many times we've been to like Yoshimatsu or something, and then you've been after you like we just ate a 3-course meal, and you'll go, "You want to stop at the frozen yogurt place?" And I'll go, "I guess so." I didn't before you didn't put this idea in my mind. And then once you placed it, I can't say no. And
Hey,
then
when
all of
I
a sudden-
eat, I like to eat, man.
I know. It's a good characteristic that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying when you go and tell me that you're giving Shelby, you know, you're telling her the opposite of what you normally would tell me.
Mhm.
I'm having a hard time believing it.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
All right. So there's a couple things I wanted to review with you on the podcast.
Okay.
First is you have a preferred cooking method for oatmeal. That was something that was mentioned last time, and there's a lot of controversy, and I just kind of want to hear about it. Like from what I know, there's microwave oats, right? There's the instant oats where you add hot water.
Garbage.
You have overnight steel cut oats.
Now we're talking.
And then you can cook steel cut oats on the stove where you like boil them, right?
Common.
That's how my dad does it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a preference?
I
Or
will
rice cooker
buy.
option, as we also talked
Well,
about last time.
that's a rice cooker is for cooking rice, like I mentioned.
I don't want to cook my oats in a way that would offend somebody in my household, so I cannot put them in the rice cooker.
What if we called it a grain cooker? It's a grain cooker.
Yeah, it
What
is
if
a
we
grain
started
cooker.
our own
Well,
rice
as
cooker
long
because
as
it's
the
called a grain
rice cooker doesn't say grain, or as long as the grain cooker doesn't say rice cooker on it,
I'm just gonna scratch away the part that says rice cooker. I'm sorry.
then
Go
by
ahead,
all
Shelby.
means, go for it. Yeah.
When I buy oatmeal, I buy the old-fashioned rolled oats.
Mhm.
I've had quick oats, which are just like more chopped up and processed, I think.
Mhm.
And that's really great for baking, but I don't buy them myself. And with steel cut oats, I don't have the patience to have them on a stovetop.
Mhm.
And I've never tried doing overnight steel cut oats, but if I had a rice cooker to put them in, I might try it.
A grain cooker.
A grain cooker
Okay.
is the proper way to do it. Or like an Instant Pot. You can put them in there.
Instant Pot's pretty popular. The thing with Instant Pot, if you're doing I have one. If you're doing a like steel cut oats,
Humble brag.
it was gifted to me.
Continue.
Where was I? Okay. I think if you're doing steel cut oats, it's awesome. If you're doing like quick oats or something, it's not worth the time because it takes so long to pressurize and stuff. It's just like you do it faster in the microwave or on its stovetop.
Okay.
You know, but I mean, in the grain cooker, I can do rolled oats in like under 10 minutes. It's
Wow.
pretty convenient. And you can, what I'm thinking about invoking this year is because living in a house of cyclists, we all eat oatmeal before we go for rides. Like it's pretty much what everyone eats. So I'm thinking about setting up all my ingredients that would normally go in my oatmeal overnight, right? Or just put them all in the rice cooker. And then in the morning, all someone has to do is come in and add 2-3 cups of water, hit the go. By the time we're dressed, our oatmeal's ready.
Yeah. What ingredients are you putting in your oatmeal?
I have a go-to, but I do deviate from it a
Sure.
little bit.
What's your go-to?
Go-to?
Just so we can get
My go-to is
an idea.
Rolled oats at the moment is what I
Okay.
use. I'll do some chia seeds. I don't go in exact measurement. I just sort of drizzle it in there until
Sure.
it looks good. And then I will add some cinnamon sometimes, depending on how I feel.
Sorry.
And then I have dried cranberries I like to add. Now, if it's a fancy day, I will add frozen blueberries after it's done cooking.
I love
and-
that.
And then after it's done cooking, it'll sit in the, it's like ready to go in the rice cooker. I'll take out my thing of honey and just drizzle the top with honey in like a little spiral.
fancy.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And I have added like coconut flakes
Mhm.
before and sunflower seeds. If you're trying to make like an elegant bowl of like oatmeal.
You're trying to impress somebody with your oatmeal.
I do this with Cecile. Yeah.
Or if the ingredients are there, why not?
Yeah, well, I'm usually lazy, but that she's done that for me. She'll like get a bowl of oatmeal, drizzle the seeds, drizzle the berries, drizzle the coconut
Yeah.
flakes, and if she's really into it that day, drizzle some chocolate chips.
Okay.
Yeah, and you've got like a really delicious bowl of oatmeal.
Well, those sound great, but my favorite type of oats is my
No
dog.
oats. Aw,
And if you're watching this, you'll see there's oats
might
here.
not be able to see.
But if you're not, you can check out Oats and Shiba's Instagram. But that's my favorite kind of oats.
Shiba notes.
Yeah.
Shiba oats. Yeah.
When you're cuddling with your oats at 10 o'clock at night, I'm cuddling with mine. Or Shoda's, I guess.
Which is our dog, Oats.
And oats is a sweet oat, not a savory oat.
She is.
She can be savory sometimes.
Yeah.
But most of the time she's sweet.
Well, if you're a rat or a lizard, then she's spicy.
Or if you're like meat in the garbage.
Yeah, one of those things.
Why did you name her Oats?
Because she's the color of a piece of oatmeal.
A piece of oatmeal. No.
And she looked like one. She's a little ball.
Oh.
All right, so the next question. Well, I suppose I should let the audience, if you have any opinions on oats, oatmeal, or grits, we'd love to hear from you.
Grits or oatmeal? That'd be the quiz for this week.
Okay.
Are you
And then I was thinking, like, yeah, we're gonna quiz people, see what people think, or they can comment, like rolled, steel cut, microwave, whatever their opinions are. We'd love to hear from them.
Mm-hmm.
And then we talked about coffee. Coffee is your go-to caffeine, right, Shelbs?
Yeah.
Okay, and then
Sorry.
and then savory or sweet French toast. You were eating sweet, but have you tried my savory French toast? And do you have any opinions on it?
Well, without spoiling other people's types of French toast, I did have rye French toast.
Mhm.
Sorry, my mimosa went down the wrong pipe. And the rye French toast to me was savory.
Okay.
But
Even
it didn't
despite having cinnamon.
Yeah,
and
it didn't
syrup
have
on
hot sauce.
Okay.
Did I put syrup?
You did put
Well-
agave syrup.
It was really dry, so I think I actually added water.
Yeah. That's a little weird. And then the last thing is toaster or toaster oven.
Toaster oven, all the
Okay.
way.
All right.
I've never used one though, so I don't know.
That being said,
I just don't use a toaster. I stayed with Cherry and she toasted her breakfast toast every morning and I just ate mine plain.
yeah.
Because I thought the bread itself, how often is it that we get soft, beautiful bread?
Mm-hmm.
Why toast it?
That's true. There's something about that. Although I do like how a soft, beautiful piece of bread, when it's lightly toasted and it's thick enough, is crunchy on the outside, soft and warm on the inside.
Have you ever used those? I was thinking about this after we did our last debate. Those the hotels that don't have toasters, they have those little like conveyor belts that do like
Oh yeah.
those are terrible.
What makes them? I don't know. I've never really
Because
used one.
it's like a conveyor belt. And I think the idea is that you put in a piece of toast and it just conveyor belts like blasting heat on the top or whatever, and it just keeps the cycle going. So you're not sitting there waiting for some idiot at a hotel that like put his toast in, forgot about it, and you're just waiting for this guy to take his toast out of the toaster. It keeps it flowing.
Yeah.
The problem is that it's never the right temperature. Like it's either like I got to run it through 3 times, and then so you run your toast through, you get in the back of the line, and then you're waiting for everyone else to run their toast through, so you can come back. By the time you do, your toast is already cold, and it just and the next thing you know, you're toasting cold, tough toast.
Yeah, that does not sound ideal.
It's terrible. So,
But regarding this debate, toaster oven versus conventional toaster, the votes have been in for some time, and the toaster oven's been winning it, which you debate. But we recently received
Don't
the
deny it.
ultimate vote. Okay, I'm going to unveil.
What is this? Is this what's in the box?
Oh
my God.
Toaster oven.
I didn't know this was
All
happening.
right. And my mom sent it to me.
Really?
She did not feel comfortable about commenting on YouTube with her real name. And she decided the best thing to do would be to send us a toaster oven.
Wow.
So
Black
later
and
today,
decker.
right after we finish taping this, we're actually going to be giving Tim a haircut. We're remoletizing. And then we're unboxing the toaster oven and cooking some goodies that we discussed in the first episode.
Glad I didn't eat
I've
breakfast
got
yet.
pizza,
Wow.
mini pizzas,
It's not vegan though, Tim.
but hash browns,
Oh.
Vegan, maybe.
vegan,
Talk
yeah.
about-
And
Questionable.
then just for you, Tim, I got these vegetable burritos. They're mildly spiced, and it does say vegan on the packaging.
I'm gonna be curious to see how those turn out.
Mild, just for us.
Wow. Mild.
So-
The
Just-
sweaters, the face sweaters.
the hot stuff doesn't get me. It's the ironically sweet things that make me sweaty somehow.
So that's what we're going to
super
be
stoked.
doing today. So that's the end of.
This is why you guys brought ketchup. I saw the ketchup in the bag. I
Yeah.
was like, why would she bring ketchup?
Well, because you don't have ketchup, you're not allowed to have it in your house.
That's true. I have like again the little packets.
Little
I see.
packets,
It's not
I
enough
know.
though. I thought ketchup went.
I
in
spent
mimosas.
5 minutes looking for ketchup today
Really?
before we came. Yeah,
For me.
just for you.
Wow, dude.
But
That's so nice.
anyway, so that's kind of wrap to this. We want to thank Shelby for coming and recording with us.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Breakfast Podcast about oatmeal. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram or Facebook. Comment about your opinions regarding oatmeal.
Yeah, I want to know what people are interested in putting in their oatmeal.
Okay. We'd love to
To expand my oatmeal verse.
That
Sorry,
sounds
go
great.
ahead.
No,
Yeah.
that's
Hit
good.
us through your top oatmeal ingredients. Yeah.
And then if you're interested in watching the toaster oven or conventional toaster debate, that's episode 1. Savory French Toast with Marco is episode 2. And that's about everything.
Yeah. We'll let you guys know. I feel like we're going to keep going at the oatmeal thing for a while. There's so many different things we can talk about with oatmeal. So stay tuned for that.
All right.
Oh.
Well, Ohio gozaimasu.
Guten Morgen.
Good morning.
This is
the
the Breakfast
Breakfast
Podcast.
That's a wrap.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
it.
a big gulp.